Hey, where are you? What are you doing? Your husband woke up and you aren't home? Hurry up and fix my breakfast. What are you saying getting up so close to noon? And didn't you see that note in the living room? I'm on my way to my parents' house. What? You're going home again this weekend? It's been 6 months since your dad fell ill. When in the world is he going to pass away? What? It's great that you love your parents, but your first priority is your husband here. But you're a housewife mom who spends your weekend at your parents' home, and you leave all the housework to me. I've reached the end of my patience. How can you say such a terrible thing? The way you said it, it's as if you're wishing my dad for a speedy death. Why can't I worry about my own father? I take care of the home during the week, so why can't I take care of my parents on the weekends? Of course not. I have a job. Why should I have to take care of the house on the weekends? Ever since your dad fell, I've been taking delivery every weekend. The only chore left is the laundry for you, and I make dinner for you every weekend. But you say you're not in the mood, and you just take a delivery on your own. If you're a wife, you should at least know what your husband's mood is on the weekends. If you can't even do that, don't get cocky. What? Besides, there's no point in visiting. In fact, it interferes with the treatment and there's no need for you to visit him anymore. From now on, you only go home when things are really bad, okay? If you understand, come home right now and fix my breakfast. No, I won't. Then it's really bad, just like you said. I'm heading to my parents' home today. I just got a call from the hospital that my father's condition was suddenly changed. So I'm heading to my parents' home. What? Well then, take care of the house. If he passes away, I don't think I'll be home for a few weeks. Don't be silly. I won't let you do that. Who's going to take care of me while you're gone for a few weeks? Can you take care of yourself? You're a grown man. You can take care of yourself. Don't be ridiculous. You're a housewife and you're neglecting your husband. Why don't you think about my situation a little? Well then, I'm going. I'll listen to your complaints as much as you want after I get home. Mom, I heard. I'm so sorry to hear that Grandpa is in critical condition. I got paid next week, so I'm heading over with you. What? You took a day off? Of course I did. He's taken care of me since I was a little. Besides, if anything ever happened to him, I couldn't just sit around and go to work. So where are you now? I'll drive you to the hospital. I just got a car bought the other day. You're giving me a ride? Your kindness is so touching. What are you talking about? Did you have another fight with Dad? We haven't even had a fight. He still doesn't like my visit. What a horrible thing to say about when he's going to pass away. Wow, seriously. His wife's father is dying, and all he can think about is himself. He was so pissed off that I didn't fix his breakfast. So your kindness really touched my heart. Then buy me something at the service area. I hadn't eaten yet. I'll buy you anything you want. I just arrived at the station nearest my house. Can you pick me up here? I'll be right there. James, what is this all about? There's a divorce paper in the living room. You're finally home. I'm at work, so you go ahead and get it out. As you can see, I already signed. You can get it out as soon as you sign it too. That doesn't answer my question at all. Why are we suddenly getting a divorce? Because you don't take care of me. I don't need a wife like you anymore. I'm divorcing you. For 6 months, you've been away from home on weekends. You've been neglectful to your husband. You go home to your parents for weeks and never come back. A housewife leaving the house unattended deserves a divorce. You took advantage of my kindness and did whatever you wanted. And now it's come back to bite you in the ass. I wasn't out having fun, you know. What's wrong with taking care of my father who lives separately? Besides, this time, he passed away. I had to handle the funeral and clean up the house. Shut up. You've been my wife since the day I married you. As a housewife, your job is to be here for me 365 days a year. and I warned you many times. But you just keep talking back and neglecting me. A woman like that deserves to be left by her husband. But if you really don't want a divorce, I might change my mind a bit. You mean you'll reconsider divorce? If you change your attitude and swear to serve me well. If you promise to put me first from now on, no matter what, I won't divorce you. But you'll have to apologize to me first. Get down on your knees and apologize for neglecting your husband for weeks. At the door, with 3 fingers on the ground, of course. And you swear right here from now on, you'll put me first in your life. No way. I'll also ask you to increase my allowance. Now that your dad is dead, you've inherited his estate. I can't take it directly from you, but I take it from you as an allowance. So starting this month, my allowance will be $700 a month. Are you trying to steal my father's inheritance from me? You never once paid him a visit. You didn't even come to the funeral. Shut up. What belongs to the wife belongs to the husband. Wife's heritage belongs to her husband. What? What's with that cocky attitude? You don't have to do what I say. You don't have to apologize. You don't even have to give me an allowance. Instead, you're going to divorce me and I will kick you out of this house. Now, go sign the divorce paper. Go to the city office and get it out. You have 2 choices, divorce me or hang on to me. I know you don't have the courage to divorce me. You are a miserable housewife who can only cling to me. You've been saying all kinds of things that would have been better if you kept your mouth shut. Stop making fun of me. Huh? What? You're a housewife and you're going against me. Then file for divorce and get out of here. I don't need a wife who treats her husband like crap. Get the divorce paper and get out of my house. This is my house. So I'll file the divorce paper, but you're the one who's leaving. Can you come get your stuff straight after work? I'll put everything outside. Take it and get out of my sight. Hey, what kind of joke is that? That house is my house, your husband's house. Don't act like a housewife who lives on my salary owns the place. I'll say it again, this house is mine. Can you please remind me once who made the down payment for the house? Just before we bought this house, your workplace suddenly went bankrupt. That's why we almost gave up on the purchase. But then my dad helped us by making a down payment. I wonder when you will remember that we managed to buy the house thanks to him. Oh, it was. Your dad put down a substantial down payment. In exchange, I had to put the house in your name. I'm glad you remember everything. My dad made the deal just in case, and you said, there's no divorce, and you agreed. You found a new job right away, and the salary doubled, and with that, we were able to pay off the loan right away and pay my dad back for the down payment. Yes, I did. But I felt so satisfied with that and forgot to put it in my name. Now you know who should get out of the house. I'll file for divorce. Wait a minute. I know who owns the house, but you're going to file for divorce now? You're saying you're okay with the divorce? That's totally fine. I don't need such a messy husband in my life. Thanks for the signed divorce paper. Now I can get it out right away. Wait a minute. Just chill out and reconsider. Reconsider what? You've been a housewife for years, and now you're divorcing me? Are you insane? If you get divorced, you're unemployed. You can't live without me. All you have to do is change your attitude towards me. And you're stupid enough to choose divorce. That's rude. I have my future in mind. Like you said, I inherited my dad's estate. I have a house with a paid-off mortgage and a good portion of inheritance. I can't survive on my own if I live modestly. You inherited that much? My dad was able to make a sizable down payment on his daughter and her husband in the pinch. Thankfully, he gave me quite a bit of money. Excuse me now, I have to go to the city office. Wait, don't be so hasty. Divorce means you'll be all alone in that big house. Do you really think living in such a lonely house? That's a lame attempt to stop her, Dad. That's why Mom is divorcing you. What? Besides, Mom's old age will be fine. I'm her son, and I'm going to live with her and take good care of her. So you can leave without worries. Are you, Liam? I was taking a break after I dropped her off at home. We laughed when we found the divorce paper. Hey, what? You're laughing about your parents' divorce? If you're with her, why don't you stop her? Why? I'm all for divorce. I don't want to stop her. What? Because you're such a shitty dad. Divorce is definitely the way to go. Besides, Mom says I can come back to the house as soon as you leave. I hope you leave soon for my sake. Liam, are you in favor of our divorce? And you want me to leave? You're my son and you're kicking your father out. Can you stop treating me like a son from today? I don't want to contact you either. I mean, after you and Mom get divorced. So before I go any further, please don't depend on me in your old age. I'll take the lead in taking care of Mom, but not you. I don't want to take care of a lame dad who looks down on his wife. You're kidding me. You don't even know how much you owe me for raising you. I've been paying for your tuition and living expenses. It's your duty as a parent. And the only reason you were able to pay for my tuition was because my mom supported you. Don't talk like you're the only one who worked hard. What? But I guess it won't be that easy even if I cut tie with you. If something happens to you, I'll be the first one they'll contact. So please make sure you die as soon as possible before that happens. I can't take care of you every holiday. Hey, what do you say to your father? You're telling him to hurry up and die because you don't want to take care of him. There are things you can and can't say as a human being, even to your father. Huh? What are you mad at me for? You said the same thing to Mom. You even said, when will Grandpa be gone? You're so proud of yourself for saying that. I bet you can control the time of your death, can't you? So please leave this world at a time that won't cause trouble for me. Oh no. Well, I'm going home for now. I'm moving in after you leave. So take your stuff and leave as soon as possible. Please, Isabella, let me in the house. Don't tell me you're divorcing me. Stay married to me. Oh, I feel like it's been so long since I've heard you call my name. It's always been you or hey. I'm sorry I've been such a prude. You're the reason I've been able to do what I do. I'll be grateful for that from now on, so please reconsider. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? You said you don't need a wife like me anymore. You slapped me with the divorce paper and now you're asking me not to divorce you? Don't be so mean. And I'm sorry I missed your father's funeral. I'll come by next time to pray. So forgive me for everything and let me in. Absolutely not. Besides, I've already filed for divorce. What? What am I supposed to do now? I was divorced from my wife, cut tie with my son, and I lost my house. I'm left with nothing. Please, don't leave me alone. Don't you dare say that now. Why are you being so cold? We've been married for decades. That house is filled with our happy memories. Doesn't it hurt you to kick me out of that house? Of course not. Rather than happy memories, this house is full of painful memories. What? I've supported you as a housewife for years, but you've always looked down on me. The slightest complaint, and you'd be blasting me for living on your money. I've been married to you for decades, and I have dozens more painful memories than happy ones. I'm going to get over it now. I'm determined to live free and enjoy my life in this house. So please let me be next to you. I won't let you stay, idiot. I don't need a husband who doesn't care for his wife. If you want someone to take care of you, find a housekeeper. I will never take care of you again. Such. Then get your stuff outside and get lost. If you stay any longer, I'll call my son to take you out. That boy has grown very strong in the short time I've seen him. He enjoys muscle training and now he can carry 440 pounds. Is that so? He can throw you off with a single blow. Now get the hell out of here. After that, my ex-husband moved somewhere in a big hurry with all his stuff. Soon after that, my son Liam came back to live with me, and now he is my bodyguard. In the first few days, my ex-husband stormed into our house several times, but Liam threw him out each time and now he never comes near our house at all. They say that he was giving up on the getting back together with me and switched to remarrying another woman. However, as a result of his attempts to flirt with a young girl at work, he was promptly demoted and sent to a distant rural countryside. I heard that he would never come back here again, so now I can enjoy living with my son in peace.
Hey, Drew.
Petey, hey babe, it's been such a stressful day at work.
Oh yeah, what's happened?
We had so many investors coming into the office, just a day of back-to-back presentations. I'm so glad to be out of there. It feels like I can finally breathe again. And it's the weekend, time for some house hunting.
Sure.
I've got 4 viewings booked at apartments on the Upper East Side. They all have so much potential and not too expensive for the location. Mortgage shouldn't be a problem with a new promotion coming up.
Well, we need to talk a bit more about that, babe.
What's there to talk about? We both agreed that it's time we move in together, and it's a buyer's market at the moment. Let's strike while the iron's hot.
Of course I want to move in with you, but apartments on the Upper East Side? Haven't you given some thought to what my family are offering?
Your family? The same family who never speak to me? The same family who act like I don't exist? Yeah, I've given some thought to what they're offering, and it sounds a lot like they want you to move into the suburbs and be closer to them.
I don't think that's the worst idea in the world, do you?
Well, it's not the worst idea in the world, no, but it's certainly close to the worst decision in the world. Petey, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a job. A very well-paid job. My job is situated in the city. I have to go into the office every day. I have no choice. Your family wants us to move into the suburbs so they can have their son close to them. I respect that. And I would be a lot more receptive to that idea if they treated me like a part of the family. But they don't. They don't like me, Petey. They never have. Heck, you even promised to propose to me. You've never proposed to me because you're afraid of how your family might react.
Drew, my family are odd. I've told you a million times. It's not that they don't like you. It's that they never see you. I always suggest we go to visit them on the weekends, but your weekends are so precious. All you want to do is go for walks in the city and watch Netflix. I think it's more of a case of they think you don't like them. Some wires have been crossed. We can fix that.
But we can't fix that I work in the city.
You can work some days from home. That's not impossible. The city is only a couple of hours away. You could commute in when you need to be in the office. Come on, Drew, think outside the box a bit.
You're telling me to think outside the box? You want to move back to where you grew up and buy a house. That's not thinking outside the box, Petey. That's called regressing.
My family wants to give us the money to buy a house, Drew. I don't think you realize what a privileged position that puts us in. And you want to completely disregard it out of hand. You don't even want to consider looking at houses outside of the city? Do I not get a say in where we live?
Of course you do, Petey. I'm not trying to cut you out of the process at all, but you're not considering the situation you're putting me in. Yes, it's very generous of your family to offer to buy us a house, but it's not like they're just gifting us the money. It's under very specific conditions. They'll only give us the money if I agree to move to the suburbs. And that will mean either leaving my job or asking my job to change my position in the company. That's a big sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that you don't have to contemplate. You're a designer, Petey. You can work from anywhere.
But there's nothing for me in the city, Drew. I feel so detached from New York. I don't have many friends here. I'm only still here for you. You know how much my family means to me, and I rarely get to see them these days because you don't feel comfortable around them.
I feel like we're going around in circles here. I've already made it crystal clear to you. And if you're too dumb or short-sighted to see that your family constantly give me the cold shoulder, then I don't know how I'm going to change your mind.
I acknowledge that my family have been difficult, but they're protective of me. You have to understand that my family dynamic is very different to yours.
What do you mean?
You moved across the country to work in New York. I'm not saying that you don't love your family, but you have more of a detached relationship with them. My family is Italian. We come from a long-standing tradition of family over everything.
Oh, I get it now. I'm an outsider. That's why your family doesn't like me.
They're not that old-fashioned. You don't have to be Italian for them to accept you as my partner.
But I do have to accept that we'll live within a mile's radius of them for the rest of our lives.
No. I think we are going around in circles now. This is our first home, Drew. We have the chance to own a house without borrowing any money. And in a few years' time, if you want to move back to the city, then we can. I'm just asking you to consider their offer.
Okay, I'll consider it, but I'm only considering it, Petey. I still want to look around those apartments on the weekend, and I want you to not sulk when we do it. Promise me that.
Okay, I promise.
Hey, Drew.
Vera?
That's me, your boyfriend's sister. Surprised to hear from me?
A little bit. Sure, but a nice surprise.
It's a nice surprise for me, too.
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to be neighbors soon, so I thought I'd be the first to welcome you to the neighborhood.
Welcome me to the neighborhood?
Yeah, it takes some getting used to at first. The suburbs are a fair deal quieter than city life, but I love it. I've never been one for the hustle and bustle of city life anyway. Everyone in the neighborhood is so excited that you and Petey are moving here.
Vera, Petey and we haven't exactly agreed to move to the suburbs. And even if we do, we're not necessarily going to live in your neighborhood.
But I don't understand. You've bought the house across the road from us.
No, we haven't, actually. We're looking at apartments in the city at the moment, and we're only looking. We've been to maybe 6 viewings in total, and they've all been in the city.
I saw Petey only a few days ago. He told me he'd placed an offer on the house across the road and it had been accepted. It's an adorable property. It really is. I must say I was quite jealous when he told me that he'd had an offer accepted.
This is all news to me. I'm pretty sure Petey would have told me if he'd put an offer on a house. We're supposed to be moving in together, after all.
But Petey told me it was your idea. He said it was your dream to move to the suburbs.
I have a job in the city. It's my dream to remain in this job, at least for the next couple of years.
Drew, honey, jobs come and go. You do realize this house is being paid for. You won't have to spend a dime on it. No mortgage, nothing. It's completely renovated. You can move in tomorrow. Most people would give their left arm to be in your position.
They would, but I'm not most people. I'm based in the city right now. And I have no plans on changing that anytime soon.
But do you love my brother?
Yes. Who said anything about me not loving Petey?
My brother wants to move to the suburbs. So much so that he's placed an offer on a house so he can be closer to his family. Do you not want my brother to be happy?
Of course I want him to be happy, but he's not miserable in New York.
Drew, with all due respect, wake up. Of course he's unhappy in New York. Do you really think you would have gone to the lengths of buying a house in the suburbs if he loved life in the city? Of course not.
But he'd tell me if he was unhappy.
Would he? I know my brother, and he's not one to talk about his feelings a lot of the time.
I can't believe he would go behind my back like that.
I mean, you're not married to him, Drew. He can do whatever he wants with his family's money. He can buy a house if he wants to. He doesn't need your permission.
Well, he kinda does if he wants me to live with him.
Well, maybe he doesn't.
What? Of course he does. It's all he ever talks about.
Well, all he ever talks about to me is how much he hates the city. He only tells me how depressed he is living in New York. I think if you really love my brother, then you'd be able to read the signs, Drew.
I love your brother. I spend almost every day with your brother. We talk about our future together. I don't need you to make assumptions about our lives. If Petey is unhappy, he would tell me. I think you're making this all up. You're making it up to make my mind up for me. It's an intimidation tactic and it won't work.
I'm not trying to intimidate you, Drew. I was actually reaching out because I feel like we've barely exchanged 2 words since you've started dating my brother. I wanted to reach out because I thought we could be friends. But you've been so hostile towards me that I was stupid to even think that.
Hostile towards you? You and your family have only ever been hostile towards me. You've always been cold. You've always thought I haven't been worthy of being Petey's boyfriend.
You're paranoid, Drew. We never see you. Petey is always desperate for you to come and visit us, but you're always busy. And I've literally just reached out to you in the nicest possible way, but anyway, I don't want to fall out with you. I think you need to talk things over with Petey.
I think I do too. Petey?
Drew?
Your sister just messaged me.
Vera? Andrea?
Vera.
What did she say?
She said a lot, Petey. She said an awful lot.
Which was?
She welcomed me to the neighborhood. She said you'd put down an offer on a house across the road from hers. Is this true?
She jumped the gun a bit.
What do you mean she's jumped the gun?
I mean, it was supposed to be a surprise.
A surprise? Yeah, you can say that again. It sure was a surprise and not a very nice one.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? We were looking at apartments in the city, Petey. Didn't I make myself clear? I don't want to move to the suburbs. I have a job in the city and I want to stay in the city.
Come on, Drew. We were getting bought a house. I was getting bought a house. And the conditions were that the house had to be in the suburbs. It was a non-negotiable stipulation.
For you. You didn't even include me in the decision. You just went ahead and put in an offer without even consulting with me.
I just thought there was no way of persuading you. I thought the best way of persuading you was buying the house and showing you myself.
That is definitely not the best way of persuading me. You should have included me, Petey.
Were you including me? Were you even thinking about what I wanted? No! All you were thinking about was your job. You haven't even asked me why I want to move back to the suburbs so much.
Okay, why?
Because I miss my family. I love my family. I want to be around them. My friends all live outside the city. I'm lonely and depressed living in New York. I can't stand it here anymore.
You haven't seemed miserable to me.
It's because you're so wrapped up in your job and your own life that you haven't stopped to ask me.
Do you really think moving closer to your family is going to solve all your problems? No, Petey, because you might be happy, but I won't be. I know I'll be miserable living there.
No, you don't. How can you know that if you haven't tried it? You just think you will be. There's a big difference. I know I'm miserable in the city because I'm living in the city and I know I'm miserable.
But it's not like you've even tried to be happy here. You don't leave your apartment.
How did we meet, Drew?
At a bar?
Exactly. I do leave my apartment. It's just that I feel like I have no connection to this place. I don't feel like it's home. And a new apartment isn't going to change that.
So what you're saying is nothing will change your opinion about New York?
That's right.
Not even me? If you're miserable in New York, that means you're miserable with me.
That's not what I'm saying. Haven't you been listening to me? I want you to move to the suburbs with me.
But I'm not going to do that, Petey, so I guess you're going to have to make a decision. Either it's the city and me, or it's the suburbs and your family. I'm not going to force your hand. I'm pretty sure you've made up your mind already.
I can't believe you're making me choose between you and my family.
I can't believe you're making me choose between your family and my job.
I guess we're not ever going to meet in the middle with this.
How can we meet in the middle, Petey? We made a decision that we want to move in together, and now we're on the brink of breaking up. How could it get to this point? You should have told me how you were feeling before we started looking at apartments.
I guess I was scared.
Scared of what?
Scared of this. I was scared of losing you. I thought I could convince you. I really did, but now I know.
Know what?
That your job means more to you than me.
And your family means more to you than me.
A job isn't the same as a family.
Is it not? You don't get to decide that.
I guess there's no way of convincing you.
I don't think there is.
Is this over?
It breaks my heart, but I think it is.
I can't believe we're breaking up over text.
Me neither.
I'm sorry this happened.
I'm sorry too.
I guess I'll see you around, Drew.
I guess so.
I really hope you reach a point where you can value things more than a career. And when that day comes, then don't hesitate to reach out. You'll always be special to me, Drew.
My breakup with Petey was hard to take. I felt terrible that I hadn't noticed how miserable he had been living in the city. We reconnected a couple of months later, and we're now in a long-distance relationship. He lives in the suburbs, and I live in the city. I visit him every other week and have grown really fond of his family. Maybe, in a few years, I'll think about moving in with him, but I need to take life at my own pace. For now.